All right, friends, we are back. Checking a few things out here before we get going. Yes, we're live again. Let me see here. All right, microphone sounds good. All of that looks good. Let me edit our clip art here. Sorry, guys, just a couple things. I got to get in episode 2 like now. I got to get in here now. So this is our Wheel of Time Season 1 watch party and hangout. I watched the episode, and I'll tell you guys when I start it. If you want to start it with me, you can, and kind of just react as we go here. So let me see. Make sure everything's right. Check. Audio, all good. H6 is good. And we are a go. We have episode 2, Shadows Waiting. All right. And we are a minute in. And we are going to. So this is 57 minutes. And we'll see how we're, episode 2, Shadows Waiting. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Pressing play now. Got a recap here. Nice little recap. We're live. We're live there. Audio's good. All right, check. Just checking the old mic here. All right, cool. And we're live. Oh my God, here we go. And we're in. We're in. White cloaks, baby. Here we go. Spoilers ahead, just if you're watching. I'm watching the episode, so not showing it, just watching. Wow. May you always walk in the light. Wow. Oh my. Holy. Oh. Oh, this is well, we're starting off with this, huh? All right, cool intro. The weaving. The wheel is weaving. The pattern. Even the intro's super good. All right, on the move. I'm currently at 5 minutes 23 seconds. Hey, friends, just watching. They're crossing the Taran right now. Season 2, about 6 minutes, 50 seconds in. And episode 1 was great. It was great. Let me pull your comments over here so I can see them. Oh, boy. Some scary stuff going on here. I think these Trollocs look pretty scary. Sorcha, thank you so much. Yeah. Yeah, you too. That is a lot of Trollocs. Yeah, I like the Trollocs. Yeah, I thought they did a good job. I mean, they're mass. Oh my gosh. The eyeless. It's a freaking fade. Okay. Wow. Moraine, you got to do what you got to do. You know, you got to do what you got to do. Oh, wow. Wow. She did what she had to do. Okay. Okay. What, Lan? What's going on? Really? More dangerous than Trollocs. Aw. Mhm. The horsies. Here we go. MJ, same. I'm on episode 2, just so you know right now. Hmm. Moraine's tired. So much channeling. Good job on their part. This is. Hmm. Hmm. Okay, Moraine, Egwene, good chat. Hmm. That's it's great. It's the wind that listens to you. Let's go. Hmm. Rand and Egwene. Came out there to be alone. God dang it, Rand. Hmm. What is going on? Ah, Perrin. What's the scary stuff in the woods? Hmm. quiet. It's too quiet. The heck, Rand? What? What the heck? Sorry. What is going on? Wow. Wow. First of all, that's disgusting. I can't believe he pulled that out of his mouth. Rand's not having any of it. I mean, Rand's got some good. He's got some good questions. He's asking some very pointed questions. Oh, Egwene, hold on a second. What happens to these guys? That's a good point, Egwene. That's a good point. Sorry. Well, I'm going to work on the clock thing. That's a good point. I haven't had a chance to, didn't expect this. We're at 23:50. 23:50. Next time. Just for you guys who are watching, tuning in, I can't really see all the comments and everything. We're just didn't expect to be doing this. This is kind of improv last minute here. Matt will be back on. We'll do our live reaction and talk about the show, episode 2, once we're done here. White Cloaks. Are you kidding me? They're walking right in. Wow. 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 This white cloak business is serious. Real serious stuff. Well, refreshing to hear you admit that, Moraine. Tell the truth. All right, we're through the white cloaks. Quick update here. We're at 2940 right now. Okay. I'm guessing we have to shout our logo out there. Whoa. Some ancient ruins. That's cool. God, Moraine does not look good. She is. Wow. Good, some good singing. Hmm. Manetheren. Hmm. Hmm. Oh, that's a beautiful shot. Beautiful shot. They've got good locations. This cast is beautiful. Beautiful cast. Beautiful set. Lan's worried. Lan is worried. Egwene and Rand are fighting. They're fighting. Come on, Rand. Lots of wolves. A lot of howling. Dang, parents, say something about that wound. Come on. Hello. Okay. Well, maybe like Phoenix tears, there's healing and the wolf tongue lick or something. I don't know. Guys, Moraine's not doing well. Oh boy. Timestamp. I'm at 39 minutes, 15 seconds. Sorry, I don't have a timer. Just watching. Didn't realize it was dropping. We're at a pretty intense moment. They're headed to Shadar Logoth. They're oh my god, there's so many Trollocs. Holy smokes. Come on, guys. Get out of there. Horses don't want to go there. It's an evil city. Yep. Holy smokes. Oh, they're not going towards that city either. Wow. Well, we are in the city, friends. $41, $41.20. Lots of detail to this city. Really cool. Gosh, Moraine. Moraine needs help. Hmm. Hmm. Rand off by himself. Hi, Egwene. There we go. There we go. Yeah, the acting's good. Oof. Someone's whistling. Matt, don't do it. Don't do it, Matt. Not good. Huh. Oh my gosh. Oh no. Horsey. Oh no. Oh my gosh. No, Moraine. Get out of there, guys. Got Mashadar everywhere. What? Matt needs to get lucky. Holy smokes. You gotta jump. Jump. Wow. Egwene's like, I've made this jump before. So women's circle business. Okay. We are separated. Hmm. Hmm. All right. We're good and well separated. Moraine's about to die. Come on. Somebody heal her. Oh my. Oh my gosh. Let's go. Okay, that's a cool little ending. All right. Slower paced. Wow. All right. Season 1, episode 3, A Place of Safety. Okay, coming up. All right, let me see what Matt's up to here. Wow. We just All right. Same. Just finished. Okay. Okay, friends. Wow. Sorry. Wow. Wow. Let me check something here. Pretty cool. Pretty cool stuff. Okay. Design scene mention. This is awesome. 100% awesome. All right, guys, just waiting on Matt. Just waiting on Matt to pop in. Oh, gosh. All right. This is crazy. Oh, my. Oh, sorry, guys. Holy smokes. Yeah, just finished the first 2 episodes solid. Okay, cool. Martin Heddle, yeah, we're going to be popping some comments up here in a second. Monkey Lord, we see you there. Here we go. Matt's coming in here hot in just a second. We're going to hit that record button and just start chatting about this. Wow. So much to talk about. Interesting. Episode 2. Interesting. Friends, I am hyped. Like, that was a more calm, chill, laid back. Not laid back. I say, but it wasn't chill at all. What am I even saying? The pacing, right? It was more explaining. We had Manetheren. Yeah, good stuff. Okay. I gotta save it. I gotta wait until Matt gets in here and we start chatting away. That was episode 2 out of 3. We'll talk. We'll get a little discussion here, get some comments from you guys, and yeah, and then we'll dive into. Pace got better than episode 1. Wait till 3 though. Oh man, you guys are getting me hyped. You are getting me hyped. I am already like, after episode 1, I'm so locked in, and this was good. This was a good episode. We'll talk about it, but yeah, if you guys have thoughts or comments or things that you want to point out about the production or the acting or the score, any of that kind of stuff, leave us a comment there, and we'll pop it up here on the live stream. And later on, we're going to be cutting all this up and post, producing some videos out of it. But this is unreal. This is super cool. Just being here, hanging out with you guys, seeing the comments, seeing folks pop in, pop out, and just it's a night to remember. It will be a night to remember. Did not expect this. Thought we'd be doing this at 3 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock in the morning on Friday, but here we are talking about it. Loving it. Loving it. Again, just waiting on old Matt to get in here. Yep. Intro, get the music. Yeah. Yep. Oh, okay. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. I'm hearing things about episode 3, which are good. Once we're done with this, we're going to dive in, watch episode 3. So we're going to, here he is. All right. Let's add him in here.
Wow.
Yeah.
Sorry. Wow. I'm just slamming an ice cream sandwich incredibly quick here.
Slam it, my friend. Slam it. I gotta warm up after this broadcast, I gotta warm up my Chipotle queso dip, because I got so carried away after episode 1. I couldn't get into anything. I just had to calm down.
Yeah, I had a tough time getting episode 2 to start. So
yeah.
Sorry, just let me mute myself here while I
no, slam it. Also, I realized that we both were a little close to our we were so hyped. We were like the first episode. It sounds still good though. But I was like, oh my god. Yeah, refuel. Absolutely. Absolutely. My gosh. Ah, this is so cool.
There we go.
Cool thing is, yeah, we're out on Twitter. Follow us, you guys. I mean, again, thanks for subscribing. We got a couple more subscribers, and been seeing that. Good comments in here. This has been fun. This has been fun. Some folks were popping in, Matt, as I was watching. They're like, "Dude, just wait for 3." You know what I mean? They're like, "Wait." It's like,
let me tell you, man. Episode 2. My God. All right. Well, hey, let's dive
fire.
into it here. You're recording, right?
I'm recording everything. Been recording.
Okay, I'm gonna hop onto my Audacity here.
Okay.
Just for the podcast here. No, we'll go ahead and drop that intro again, and then we'll just dive right into it. I say.
Yes.
Hello and welcome to Heroes of the Horn, a Wheel of Time podcast. I am Sir Matt.
And I am Sir Ezra. Friends, welcome back. We have just finished episode 2, season 1, Wheel of Time. I was the high coming off of number 1. I had just kind of, take a breath.
Take a breather.
Breathe in.
I was thinking about the things, it's a watch party because it's all we get 3 episodes tonight. So it's not like we just get 1. I don't even know what I said in the first episode. I'm sure I probably said some things that weren't true because I was just so amped and so excited.
Yeah.
And I was loaded up on pizza and
we were like yelling
candy and like we were going nuts.
Yeah.
So this episode 2, a little bit of things calmed down a little bit there until the end. Wow, so much to dive into, it's all great to say the least.
Yes.
I don't really have any other way of kind of describing it here. Sorry, as I have chocolate all over my fingers here.
Let's tell we're pounding the food, man.
It's a party, yeah.
I
know. I think I'm gonna get some mozzarella sticks in between episodes 2 and 3 here.
Yeah.
So the intro. We now have an intro music, intro theme, intro looky. It's kind of got, it's not Game of Thrones Z. It kind of is a little bit, but it's a cool intro. You see the weaving of the pattern. I thought that was pretty cool.
Yes, sir. Yeah, I thought that was cool. And I thought the music was cool. It was subtle enough. It also brought us into the world. It wasn't trying to be over the top. It was just trying to, take you in and create something interesting. Yeah. And it's the wheel weaving, right? It's weaving the pattern. And we saw the pattern laid out over the land, which I thought was a really cool kind of thing to see. So yeah,
let me go ahead and say it. Wow. If there's one thing I love, okay, is a show does a great job, or a film or whatever does a great job when the villain comes on screen and by the time it's over, you hate them. If you can say that you absolutely hate a villain, then they've done their job. If you are either scared or you just hate them. And the White Cloak adaptation is fantastic. We did not see in the teaser that he had chopped her hands off.
No.
Wow. That was like next level. Oh, my friend. That was next level.
I mean, it made me think like, okay, she can't what was implied to me was that she can't weave without her hands. Like, it's brutal. I mean, it's brutal. And then just the jangling. Remember when he walks up to land later, Valda, and he's got the rings. He's just almost like he's just like baiting, trying to get a reaction out of a warder or an Aes Sedai. If I jingle these in front of your face enough as a questioner, you might do something about it.
Yeah. So that was crazy. And so now it's like, that's great. Now we're going to see more of them. They're definitely, when we had originally just seen them, again, this is the thing, when you see pictures and stuff, we were like, wow, that's just not because when we think of the White Cloaks, I think we typically think more like armor, at least just that's the vision I've had in my head, just reading the books, but I like it. Now that I've seen it in motion, with context, with them talking, them all showing up, I like their uniforms more than I think I did when I first saw pictures, because the dialogue and everything, they do seem that much more like religious zealots, right? It does make it almost seem more sort of religious, right? And than just these sort of, I think sometimes the book makes it feel like they're just knights, right? Like
Mhm.
crusaders
Right.
almost. Whereas this, no, the little more like priestly, right? Like a little more religion,
Mhm.
overtones to it and stuff like that. So I thought that was really cool, and I thought I really like their look, and I think it blends well with the way the Aes Sedai look and the way the other casts and characters look, and everything is fitting. This is one of the things we've talked about is it's beginning to create its own unique world, and seeing the White Cloaks now in this world as part of it, it's really all beginning to gel together and look cohesive and like it's all going to work great.
Yeah, for sure, man. And I want to go back to something I said in the first episode, which is when you looked at the White Cloaks here, the attention to detail, especially with the character Jeffrey Bornhold. Now that was him. He was the leader, right? And he came forward. You notice how he whispered something too. Like normally we try to avoid the Aes Sedai when we can,
Yes.
but they are the only ones who could heal you. Seek one of them out when you can. Like it's sort of like I don't want to admit this, but I also don't want you to die. They need to, so he in the book he's that guy that's like his thoughts are we're overzealous, like or we're too whatever. We're seeing dark friends everywhere, and the questioners have too much freedom. They can do too much. He's just out there fighting Trollocs. He's out there fighting against the dark one, and he really seems to be the better side of the White Cloaks and represent what they could be. And it's the questioner who comes out and you're like, man, this guy's poison for that
Yeah.
whole White Cloak thing. It's just,
Crazy. It's
yeah.
crazy.
So
Yeah, that was a great sequence, and it's a great way to establish them immediately as jerks, right?
yeah.
Anytime you have a villain, like some of the best villains are just like in the top of my head, right? When you're talking about humans, not necessarily monsters, is like the Joker in the Dark Knight. When you watch the Dark Knight, anytime the Joker's on scene, especially the first time you're watching, you're like, oh my god, things are like he's so far ahead of them,
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
he's just so far ahead of them that he's that great of a villain. He just carries it. Same thing with Dolores Umbridge and Harry Potter, right?
Absolutely.
I describe her as a great villain because you hate her. You absolutely just hate her every time she shows up,
Hmm.
because she's almost like so perfect that you just want to punch her. Like
Hmm.
anytime you see her.
Hmm.
And same thing right here, where you're just seeing that this guy has cut off the hands of Aes Sedai and is out there burning them literally at the stake, like teasing them and saying
Hmm.
like, "Oh, what I'm doing is the right thing to do."
Hmm.
Whoa.
Crazy. Matt sets up. I mean, what was he eating? I mean, sits there with the drink and is like watching it unfold. It's just sick. It's crazy, man. It's like, whoa.
Crazy. So yeah, so that was and then it's a kid that brings him the
Mm.
dish too. And so it's like,
Yeah.
whoa, what are you guys doing? So it was good. It was that was really good. Then we sort of move into we gotta escape, right? We
Hmm.
gotta we gotta
Hmm.
we gotta escape the Trollocs that are coming. We go to Tarn Ferry, have to cross the river.
Hmm. Hmm.
And then we see that guy die. And Moraine sort of we get starting to explain the Aes Sedai a little bit,
Yeah.
and then we get some of the conversations, right, that Rand is having or Egwene has with her, where she's showing Egwene the power. We see that in the books. It's done a little bit different here.
Hmm.
I
But
I
still
think I kind
pretty
of
close. I mean,
it's
like,
still really close. I
yeah.
almost feel like I don't know, in the books, I remember it's like they're at a campfire and Egwene does it, and there's
Hmm.
there's a line I love in the books, and I think they did a really good job of showing it here, where there's a line in the books where Rand says that even though he was like sitting close to Egwene, he'd never felt so far away
Mm.
from her
Yes. Yeah.
as she's sort of like using the power a little bit. And the same
Right.
thing happens where Moraine's like the first two were me, the last one was you.
Right.
And I thought that was really, really cool, and I think they did a good job of showing that in this. Then we saw the dream. Yeah, we saw the dream. Was that Balsamon, man?
Dude, guy, there he was. I mean, that was freaking crazy. Moraine saying there's power in dreams. Be careful. Did you all see it? That's the difference too, right? Egwene is in on all of this, just lumped right in, which is cool. I love what they've done here with the separation of Nynaeve and all of that. I think it's fantastic. But yeah, you see something dark. I mean, when Rand starts pulling that out of his mouth, I was like, my reaction, you can watch it later, was just like, what? What? he's like pulling this bat out of his mouth, and then you remember those creatures like rats and bats and different birds are they can be possessed and controlled by the Dark One and so on, and it's just it was a
It's
cool,
cool.
interesting way to do it.
And this, I think this happened just before they got there, but when they're riding, and I thought it was a really cool way to sort of do this lore dump, essentially,
Mm.
where they're singing the song about Manetheren, and then Moraine kind of explains it, and then it's still like there's power in your guys' blood.
Yeah.
I thought was great, and I think the pace. I mean, the first episode is just crazy. It's like because we're seeing it for the first time, and our emotions are an absolute 10 out of 10.
Right.
And so the pacing it felt fast. I don't know that it really was. I think it was just that we're seeing it for the first time, and like it also the show also dropped 3 hours earlier than we thought it was going to, and so we're just like, oh my god, we gotta go check it out. Like, what's going on? And so this one is like, okay. I think also the pacing was a little bit slower, which is great.
Yeah, which is good.
Now we're settled in, and then we get to Shadar Logoth, as we've always called it, or how do they pronounce it?
Shadar Logoth.
Shadar Logoth. I think they
Shadar
said Logoth.
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The pronunciations will change, by the way.
It's okay.
Yeah. Which is fine. I thought the way they showed it was cool. We didn't get with the dagger what we get in the book, where you have like the man, which is fine. I think the way they did it was cool. And now then we have the split, and then Nynaeve shows up at the end, which is cool. That happens. Some things are happening slightly a little bit differently, sped up, done a different way than the book, but everything's still pretty far in line and in check with the books, which is really cool. Perrin and the Wolves, getting that out. And one of the things is, this is interesting because I went into Game of Thrones not having read the books before the show came out. Coming into this, having read the books, one of the things I sometimes can worry about is a lot of times with adaptations, for people who have never seen it before, this moment for us is like, okay, we know exactly what this happens. This is cool. We're getting to see this. But does this make sense for people who've never seen it before? And I think the way they did it was really cool, where there's weird things happening with everybody, but this was just kind of weird enough, and it kind of fit to where it's like, okay, there's something going on with Perrin, and we know that she's talking about there's power in your blood. These are special people. We don't know who the Dragon Reborn is. And so I do feel like even showing us little things like that non-book readers aren't familiar with, I feel like they're doing a good job with.
Yeah, that's a really good point, because we're already fans. If you've read the books, you're in. You want to see what these characters feel like, what they do with it. We want to see the wine spring and all that kind of stuff. Now, what was really good, and I'm really impressed so far, as you said, is that it does make sense. It is following, it's tracking, and actually, even someone said this in our first episode. We have some comments up here. Again, we're streaming live on YouTube. They mentioned that when the show does something that's a showism, and it lands and it hits a book reader's like the heartstring, it's still hitting here. And you're like, wow, that hits emotionally, and it's making sense, and it's tracking, and even maybe works better. And you're sort of like, okay, now, because that White Cloak threat, I feel like it's more real,
immediate
more immediate, more real than it ever was in the beginning of the first 3 to 4 books. Like
100% agreed. 100% agree. Yeah, the White Cloaks don't feel dangerous, and until about the Shadow Rising, which is the 4th book. They feel more dangerous now than they actually even have. And we just finished book 5, because we see them killing. Well, we do actually see them killing Aes Sedai. So even Moraine, when Moraine goes and she is weak, even though I know what's going to happen, I'm like, shoot, these are scary people. Even though we just saw Moraine wreck a bunch of Trollocs, like not that long ago. Because we know she's weak and we know she's hurt. And so I think that is something that's really also, her being weak and hurt like this is different. This is different. Different.
I think it's the right move. I mean, it makes them all more vulnerable, and
it does. Yeah. And again, for me, the biggest change that I like the most is Perrin. Layla is her name.
Layla,
by the way. Layla.
God, he's torn up, man.
it's so
I'm
good
torn up
because
watching it.
it's adding so much depth to his
Yeah.
character. It
I
just
man,
it's adding so much depth to his
he's
character.
his acting is
He's great.
Marcus is great. He's sitting there
He's great.
crying, and I'm like,
Yeah.
dude, oh my god, I feel every tear. I'm like, this is unreal.
It's
So
great. It is so good, and I'm so excited to see where it goes forward because now if they go down the same route that we get to, now some people we've talked about the reason they're doing this is kind of spoiler, maybe not spoiler if you guys haven't read the books. When you get to about the fourth book, Perrin will have sort of a big showdown with Trollocs and other things, as well
mhm,
as the White Cloaks.
mhm,
And he kind of ends up going through this phase where he has to decide between an axe and a
mhm,
hammer,
mhm,
essentially. And they even kind of reference it here a little bit where they talk about, well, your wife, she, never wanted to make a weapon. She only ever wanted to
mhm,
make a tool. And so they're
mhm.
already piecing that
I
in,
know.
and Perrin ends
I
up losing some family members who we don't really know and we don't really ever see. It's just kind of it's in a moment in the books. But if you still do that, then that scene in episode 1 and what he's going through right now is just amplified that much more. And to me, it's the best change so far. And
yeah,
his character is like, I'm so hooked in to
me too.
Perrin
No,
right now. It's
look,
it's great. It is great. It is a great change. I love it.
it's pulling everybody in. So two things. I want to touch on the parent thing because he to project a little bit further, and I know this is season 2 stuff. I just want to say this real quickly because it's on my mind. They are setting up for a better Fael because it is someone who's going to come
Yes.
in and he is going to be wrecked, emotionally torn up. I think he will lose his family. I think that all is going to happen. All those things. So I'm locked in on his character and his development. What's going to happen? All of it, and we've got White Cloak development coming up. I'm sure in the next episode something. We saw that in the trailer, some stuff with he and Egwene. They're separated, right?
And Matt too. Let's talk about Matt. Egwene and Rand are pretty much on pace where they should be.
Mm-hmm.
They haven't really deviated that much. Their sort of love relationship at this point is still kind of where it is.
Mm-hmm.
But Matt, Matt in season 1 or season 1, we're in season 1, episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
Right. Remember, he steals so that he can do stuff for his younger sisters,
Mm-hmm.
which again, this is all different. All of this family ties with Matt and everything is different. Yeah. And now when I saw him find this dagger, the dagger that we know is such a huge part of his character, it makes kind of more sense that he would even want to take it because he's kind of eyeing it over. And I think it's because it's gold, because we saw him in the last one. He does know sort of like he's kind of stole that, bracelet and
right.
some of this and some of this other stuff. And so that almost, to me, when I was watching that scene of him grabbing the dagger, I was kind of thinking, oh, like he, knows how much of this might be worth if it weren't, covered with like dark energy and all this other stuff.
Yeah.
But just sort of as a gold dagger with a ruby.
Right. He has an eye for it. Now, something that's interesting, his father, Abel Cawthon, and what that whole situation in the first episode, you know what they did, Matt? They set up the idea that when you first read the books, Matt is kind of, you're like, why does he do what he do? Why is he doing? Like, he seems like that guy who's pinching girls' bottoms and doing stuff. He does this in the books.
Exactly.
It's just what he does. His father, it's set up by his mother. You're going to be just like your father. Right.
Yes.
And it's kind of that thing. He's trying to avoid that. He's taking care of his sisters. His mom is wrecked because of what's happening publicly. That pull. See. Okay. Like, you've got something that's pulling at you with Perrin and his wife. You've got something now with Matt and his parents struggling in a real situation. That's real life. That hits home for some people, man. I was like shook by that. And I was like, oh my gosh, I can't believe they're doing this. And then he's back there taking care of the girls. And then now he's realizing, then he's showing this. It just brings out a whole other side as to like motivations behind who Matt is. Like, it's stuff we didn't really get because we follow Rand in the books into Emond's Field, and he just meets Perrin and Matt, and we just learn about them and they stick with him. Now we've actually seen them in Emond's Field before, and we understand more about who they are and why they act and behave the way they do. And I just, they're nailing it. They're absolutely nailing it. So,
yeah, I agree, man. I'm loving it so far. I'm not gonna lie. I'm liking everything. I'm really, really enjoying it. so far. All of the subtle small changes. Seeing the Trollocs again this time.
Yeah.
They didn't, it wasn't sort of it. Okay, I just feel like I'm more used to it and
Yeah.
more sort of not like okay. Again, I didn't think the design was terrible or bad or anything, but just kind of like felt like it was a little out of place, a little hokey, just the first time seeing it.
Yeah.
But now it's like okay, saw it again. Again, the fade looks great. I like that I like the way they did them being sort of chased by the darkness. I liked all of it, really. Like them riding everything.
Oh, I wanted to mention real quickly the horses, man. So first of all, the acting that is done on horses, that whole scene with them singing and the Manethra and stuff, that is some hard stuff. They're doing
Yeah.
a good job. I want people to understand these actors are doing a great job. I normally don't mention that a lot, but I'm like struck by how emotional I'm getting during the watch, and it's all conveyed through them. They're characters I love from a book series that they're bringing to life, and they're doing it with such energy and passion that I am locked in on the story and the emotions, and it's blowing me away.
Yeah, it's great. And it looks fantastic and it
Oh,
feels
yeah.
big. And the scoring is great, even though like there's like electric guitar
It
or like
doesn't get in the way though. I don't really.
it's not like distorted electric guitar, but it is kind of does feel like it's clearly got like some sort of I know guitars, right? And at first I was like that might feel kind of weird, but then it all man the cinematography and everything it's big. This is definitely it is a big show and
They went for it.
it feels like a big show, and that is something that we love because this series is one that has always really it's always deserved this, right?
Yes,
The Wheel
yes.
of Time has always deserved to be there with Game of Thrones and Lord of the Rings
Yeah.
and
It's an epic.
The Witcher and
Mhm,
all of these other Chronicles of Narnia. All
mhm,
it is in that realm of
mhm.
the biggest, most epic fantasy
Yes, sir.
series ever,
Yep.
and it feels great.
Yeah, it really does. There's so many cool things they're doing. The relationship between Lan and Moraine, I want to touch on this. That got better and better and better, and then just the way they kind of felt. I even love the Rand and Egwene going up, doing their thing, talking at that.
Rand and Moraine.
Oh yeah, the dragon. That's the
They've already started begun. They've already
yeah.
begun the sort of descent that grows between those two, and they kind of clash a bit, and then they'll end
Well,
up kind of coming back. But
if you're looking for a sign, if you're Moraine among the four, you're looking for who stands out, who's starting to stand out. He's starting to like push
yeah,
back and starting to say. By the way, two things in the beginning of this episode. Rand had a great point, and Egwene had a great point. This is where I know they're nailing this. Okay, man, when you listen to episode 2 again. When you watch it, Rand is saying to Egwene, "What happens when we get to the White Tower? What happens beyond that?
exactly.
You're not telling us anything." And then he's just like he's really getting on Moraine. And then Egwene says, like he's saying he says something wrong right at the end. He spoils all of everything he says is spoiled by him basically saying like she's no better than they are. Right? He spoils what he has good
Right,
points, and then he spoils it, and
right,
Egwene calls him on it, and Egwene should call him on it because what did she just do? She saved them all, and she saved them by leading them out. She found them. She is seeking the dragon. So Egwene makes a good point. What Robert Jordan in his series does a lot of times is the village council has a good point. The women's circle has a good counterpoint, and there is balance and harmony, and they go back and forth,
yes.
and one is needed. Both are needed, both viewpoints. And so I thought, well, here we go. They're
It's
nailing it.
great. And let me just say this here, and then we'll hop off and or I'll hop off and we'll go watch episode 3 so we can
Yeah.
get our thoughts on it. Um yeah, I 100% agree with you there. Yeah, that they are setting up the sort of duality, the yin yang, essentially what it really is
Mhm.
of the men and the women and the way the power is sort of channeled, and it's getting explained more and more.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
and sort of we see Egwene using it, and Moraine is sort of explaining, right, like the Aes Sedai and stuff like that. And Rand does say, he's like, "What are we going to become? Warders? We're going to become whipping
Mhm.
boys for you,
Mhm.
right? Is that what we're
Mhm.
is that what we're gonna do?"
That's
So
that's the dragon rising up in him, man. He is not
right
having
now,
any of this.
I'm incredibly curious, and we'll have to ask like if you were watching this for the first time right now, if you think one of these people is the Dragon Reborn, who do you think it is?
Yeah, and again, we talk spoiler. Yeah, right.
We know, right? But
Right.
at this point, I feel like you'd almost have to think Egwene
Yeah,
because you
you
literally see her use the
mhm.
power.
Right,
With
right,
Rand hasn't really shown anything yet.
right. No, no.
And then I would say of the men, maybe Perrin, because
Lot going
Perrin
on
has
with
this.
him.
Well, just we just saw him have the weird thing with like if you're seeing this for the first time, he has this weird thing with the wolves.
Mhm,
So
mhm.
yeah,
Yeah,
interesting.
and Matt
I'm really curious to see what people who have no idea what's going to happen at this point. Yeah, my right here we got a comment. My fiance after 2 episodes thinks Egwene. Exactly, that's what I feel like most people would think
yeah, and that I'm anxious to actually go watch this with other friends and even,
who don't know it, have know
yeah.
nothing about it.
Right, and to see where they're at on it, and not have listened to us or any other spoiler, podcast or YouTube channel, because it will be interesting to see what people are thinking, because that's what they're going for, and they're
Right,
doing a good job, Matt. They're doing a good
right.
job of
My my
spreading it
my
out.
mom is I've talked about her before on the podcast and stuff like
Yeah.
that. She's a hardcore binger. I mean, my God, man, it's insane. It's like I get home from work and I live in Portland, so I live on
Yeah.
Pacific time and she lives in East Coast time. It's
Yeah.
like by the time I get off work, she's like, I already watched no matter whatever the big thing is that
Right.
comes out, she's already watched it. So like
Already watched it.
last week it was like what Jungle Cruise and
Yeah, yeah.
the
Dropped
Shang 10 Rings
10
Marvel movie.
rings.
She's like, oh my God, I already watched it. It was great. Like I just got off work. I don't even, I haven't gotten home to watch this yet.
Right,
And
right.
so I'm sure she asked me a bunch of questions. So I'm sure tomorrow I will get a question and say, is that girl the dragon?
Yeah,
I'm
yeah. Oh, for sure. She's going to, for sure. Yeah, hey, I mean, what's cool is, so remember again, tomorrow night we're gonna be having all of our heroes patron bannermen on there. So if you've got friends or like your fiance or whoever that you want to, like, you're watching them react to this and you've got thoughts on it. If you don't want them spoiled, again, we talk spoilers, so don't obviously, keep them clear of us for a while. But if you want to come on and talk about that, that's this coming Saturday. We might even do it Friday. Who freaking knows? I can't
Yeah,
can't believe this dropped this early.
it
So
dropped early. Our plan was actually to do this all tomorrow, which will be Friday. Well, you're probably listening to it on Friday because it's late. But then yes, Saturday, our plan is to invite our patron members on and chat with them. So you hop into there if you want to do that, and we'll be live streaming it on YouTube. But yeah, tomorrow probably going to do a live stream as well, and I
yeah,
think
yeah.
we'll have a lot more people who are like just seeing this because again, this dropped early. We weren't expecting this.
I know. GMT time. I'm sitting over here like an idiot going, what is that? Grand Mountain time? What is it?
It should be
I'm an idiot.
Rand. It should be Rand Mountain time.
Right. Yeah. I was like,
Okay?
I was like, what? I'm in the United States. I have no idea what this is. I had to go look it up in London,
Greenwich Mean Time.
Yeah. I was like,
Where's it
what?
at? England or something? I don't
Yeah.
know.
It's over there across the pond. No, I'm kidding.
It's like, yeah,
Love
I'm like -8 or whatever it is, -12. I don't know. I'm on Pacific time. So
Yeah. Yeah. We have here, Saldaean Farm Girl. My sister thinks it's Matt because of the whole darkness thing in Shadar Logoth. Love that. Love that. I love that again.
I think it's now pronounced Shadar. How did they say? He said it weird. It could just be his accent.
Shadar Lagoth.
Lagoth. I
Yeah.
think was almost the way he pronounced
Shadar
it.
Lagoth, maybe. Yeah, it was interesting.
Yeah.
And when they said Gillidan in the first episode, it was totally different. It was totally
Yeah,
different.
he didn't.
It was
Because in
not
the books,
Gillidan.
it's funny in the audiobook because he's got such a. We need to go listen to the way that Rosamund Pike does it because
Right.
they just read. She just did Eye of the World, re-narrated it. But the way it's originally been done in the
Michael
original
Kramer
audiobooks,
yeah,
Michael Kramer and I believe it's his wife, right?
yeah. Kate
and they
Redding.
go
Yeah,
and they go back and forth, and so he
Mhm.
typically does male point of views and she does females. But they both kind of say things a specific way, and the way he said, he's like Gillidan, like he really
Yeah.
like
Oh
extends.
yeah. Oh yeah.
He really extends the way he says it.
Michael Kramer. By real quick, so I hope in episode 3 we get to Tom Maryland, but he reminds me of a Gleeman, of someone with that voice who can
Yes.
throw
Yeah,
their voice
Gale
out.
Don. Yeah, Gale Don. Yeah.
Gale Dunn. Yeah, they said Gale Dunn. Yeah, instead of Gila Dunn or whatever. And again, maybe different characters say things differently. We will see. Anyways, friends, I'm very, very, very pleased so far.
So real quick question before we're gonna hop. I'm gonna hop off here as I
Yeah.
think it's gonna. I think you have to restart a stream just
Yeah,
for
just for
recording
3.
purposes.
Yep.
Are every episode gonna be released, or was this just the thing? are new episodes going to be released essentially Thursday evenings now?
Maybe. That's a good question. Well, I guess, yeah. Well, what's been
Guess
great
we'll be
is
guess we'll be having a Thanksgiving party next week.
I'm down. You
I got
watching?
turkey, gravy, and
Right.
Randall Thor.
Let's
Okay.
go. What more do you need? Seriously. I mean, my gosh. No, that would be really cool. And what we can do, if you haven't had a chance, friends, to follow at the Wheel of Time, that's where everything's coming down. And they're really good at getting back to fans and content creators. This thing is kind of it's brand new to everybody. And this book series has been around for a bit. And I really like, Matt, how they're walking and coming into this saying, we understand there's a fandom here and we love it and they're embracing it and we're doing good things. I'm very happy to see all the love, and there is actually a really good community here. There's not really like even people who are critical are just saying like, I get it. Like, I'm just happy that this is here. I'm happy that Wheel of Time is here. It's a 14 novel series and never thought someone would take it on and do it. I'm impressed that it's being done, you know?
Yeah. So I will say that my brother Jeremy, right? He's one of our patrons too.
IEO Clan Chief.
IEO Clan Chief. Yeah. And
Let's
so
go, baby.
so it's really funny because I texted him, and he's like told me his whole life. He's like 10 years older than me, and he's and he listens to the show, so he'll hear this. And I texted him and I was like, Wheel of Time is out early, live right now. And then I get responses in all caps like, what? What do you mean live? Like he's like, do I have to like click it on a channel? Like,
yeah.
I was like, he's like, I don't understand. I was like, no, it dropped early. Like, it's out right now. And so he's like telling me all about it. And he's just going all, he's like telling me all about it. He's like, if they killed Nynaeve, I'm going to be so pissed. And I was like,
oh yeah,
they did not they did not just kill Nynaeve. Like, cause he just watched episode 1.
Right.
And I was like, they did not just, I was like, she's literally in the trailer for like,
right. But it's
right?
It's funny to say
that would be a huge change.
Right? It's like, did they really just do that? I mean, actually, after the parent stuff, I'm like, it's all fair game here. What they're doing with Pot on Fane is different. It's gonna be different. Hey, I just had a visual of you of your brother, Jeremy, getting that text message from you, Matt. And if you look over here on my screen, like he got it on his phone, and he just starts like bumbling and like is like tossing his phone. Yeah, that's fun.
Well, yeah, because it dropped early, and it's like, oh my god.
Yeah, and I think we have so Nathan on here. Shout out to him, by the way. Great thoughts earlier, great comments. Melissa, thank you. We got a lot of you guys in here. Martin as well. Saying that every episode should be out around that 12 a.m. Grand Mountain Time, GMT.
So Grand Mountain Time. Perfect. Awesome. All right, guys. Well, I'm gonna hop off here. I'm gonna go watch episode 3, and then I'll pop back in. I think guys is doing a live watch here, and then we will, and then we're gonna be doing probably another one tomorrow in which we talk about. Okay, now that we've seen all 3 together.
Right.
Let's break it down. And then we're going to do a live stream, and then we're going to do another live stream. And then we're live streaming on somebody's Game of Thrones channel on Saturday, Friday, on Sunday. Man, it's all blended together. It's all crazy.
It's good. It's good. Love it.
So much is happening this weekend. And then, it's just going nuts. I got Pokemon coming out in a few hours, and then Cowboy Bebop comes out. It's a great weekend.
I know. I'm having so much fun, man. This is so cool.
The grave is no bar to our call. Yes, right there we go. Yeah.
So
absolutely.
Hey, Melissa said she can't wait for us to see episode 3. So apparently it's freaking awesome. Let's go do that. Let's go get there, friends.
Let's go dive into that, guys. Hey, again, like the show here on YouTube as well as on the podcast. Be sure to subscribe. Definitely helps us out. iTunes reviews for the podcast are essentially huge. That subscribe button is close to 1,000 subscribers. So we're definitely hoping this weekend we can certainly push past that. And then again, we do have Patreon as well. And if you want to come onto the show Saturday and talk with us live and everyone be able to see it and we can hear your thoughts, you can check that out as well. We have extra content. We have a lot of extra episodes. We typically do we're going through the books. So for anybody that's new, we go through the books and then we do extended editions of those. And you can find those on Patreon and Apple Premium Podcasts if you use iTunes or Apple Podcasts as your player. And over there, if you go to the Apple Premium version, you actually get access to all of the content of our other podcast as well. So all of the extra content for Bend the Knee, which is our Game of Thrones podcast, Hyperspace Hangout, which is our Star Wars podcast, and our brand new, just launched this week, The Elder Wand, which is a Harry Potter podcast, as an error going through those books and movies. And that is absolutely a ton of fun. And you get that plus the extra content here, and it's all one thing. And I love the Apple Premium because I think it's just a lot of our people who are patrons have come to us and they said, man, I just don't want to be a patron on each thing. And it's like, I honestly think that's the way to go. Yeah. That is definitely the way to go. So super, super cool. So I think that's the way to check that out, guys. We will be back here shortly. Ez is going to keep the live stream. I think he's just going to restart it for recording purposes. And then I'll be back on in about an hour and we'll just have a big party. So I will be back shortly. But while I'm gone, remember that the grave is no bar to our call.
Let's go. All right, friends. Yes, I'll be right back. I'm going to go warm some stuff up real quick, some food. Thank you, Melissa. Been with us since Game of Thrones. Loving that. All of you guys are wonderful. Hop back in. I know if you give us about an hour, I'm going to be on here watching, so you'll see live my reactions. You can't hear it, can't stream any of it, all that good stuff. I'll be right back. Give me about 2 to 3 minutes. We'll be right back here, and we'll get it fired up for this third episode. I am so pumped right now. All right. Thanks so much. We will see you